Hey my Squidlings, it's Katie here and welcome back to another Thursday review video. So today I am going to be testing out these Sharpie brush markers. It's been really highly requested ever since I uploaded my birthday haul that I do a review on these, and I'm super duper happy because I can finally open them. They have been sitting in my eyesight just kind of staring at me because whenever I do reviews I like to show them in the original packaging first, so I was dying because I wanted to open them so bad, but I didn't. I persevered. Anyway, so let's take a look at this packaging since it's been unopened this whole time. So they say that they are a brush tip. There are 12 markers here. As far as I know, this is the biggest set that they sell in these. So there is a black, a blue, a light blue, a green, a lime green, a yellow, an orange, a magenta, a pink, or switch those two around, a pink and then a magenta, a red, a purple, and a brown. It says create fine lines, bold strokes, and shading. And then it shows right over here that it is also a brush. On the back here, it says one tip and plenty of tricks. Control the width of your lines thick or thin with the pressure of your hand. Make your ideas permanent on almost any surface. Create with brightly colored fade and water resistant ink. So I'm very excited to try these out. So let's go ahead and tear open this packaging finally, and we'll kind of look at them further and we'll talk about that. So let's commence the tearing. I have no idea. I just guess I open them like this. I always have the worst luck when opening things like this. Ooh, I didn't have such bad luck today. Maybe it's because it's a review day. Who knows? But anywho, let's get this out of the way. So we are greeted with these markers. So we are going to take a look at the orange one because that's my favorite color. So here's what the barrel looks like. It says Sharpie Brush and then Permanent Marker. Well, come on camera. Focus. There we go. Then it just says it again, and that's all. It shows the color by indication of the cap. It is a large cap and it's got one of these little clippy things, so you can clip it to whatever. And here is what they look like. It's actually a short little marker. There's the brush tip and it has the color here as well. It's not as pungent as some Sharpies I've used, but I haven't been using them yet, so that's just from initial review. So let's go ahead and swatch them out. I've got a little swatch card all made up here so we can have them in a nice neat little card. And we'll go swatch them out and I'll talk to you a little bit more about it. So let's go. We'll commence the swatches. So on all of these swatches I did a regular color swatch plus a flick test, which kind of determined what kind of lines I could get with this marker. So there is a red, orange, yellow, lime green, dark green, light blue, regular blue, purple, magenta, pink, brown, and black color. And it's a pretty nice set if you are going for like a basic rainbow colored, you know, like color palette or whatever. So I will tell you one thing about swatching these out. They're pretty pungent. They're not as bad as like the regular Sharpies per se, but they are pretty pungent and your paper's probably going to smell like that for a while. And if you're prone to headaches, I probably wouldn't use these in an unventilated area. So make sure you're in a well-ventilated area if you use these, because I don't want you to like die or something. I want to go ahead and say that I did purchase these with my own money. I'm not being paid or sponsored to make this review. All opinions and comments and all that jazz are my own, and any brands and stuff, you know, I'm not being sponsored, so I bought this at jerrysartorama.com. If you want to purchase these, I will leave a link down in the description to where you can do so. It will be an Amazon link. It'll be an affiliate link, so if you buy through there, it does support me a little bit, so I would appreciate it if you did. So yeah. So these are vibrant, but they can't be made muted. So basically you're going to have some pretty vibrant colors, so unless you plan on drawing some vibrant things, you're probably out of luck. They can blend, but only with the tip-to-tip method. You've probably seen me do it multiple times already. What you do is you hold the darker end, like the darker color, over the lighter color, touch them tip-to-tip, let it transfer for a little bit, not very long, and then use the lighter tip to kind of color onto like your darker shading into the light shading, and it works a little bit. It's not the best, but it does work. Your tips will get stained, and if you do it repeatedly, it probably will ruin your tips. Which brings me to the fact that these nibs are not replaceable and they're not refillable. So once they run out, you either have to go out and buy a new marker or just invest in another brand or hope you have something similar in another brand. So the tips are stiff until they're used for a little bit, and then they become a little bit more flexible. I would say they're probably a little bit more squishy than Copics. So if you're used to a Copic brush tip marker, these are a little bit more squishy. You do get a nice line variation, however, so I think that's really nice if you need like a flick, like you see the grass in the picture. I got some nice line variation with that, and I was really happy with it. They do bleed through the paper just as most alcohol markers do, and they do feather out quite a bit. So that might have just been the paper I was using, who knows, but they did feather out quite a bit. They can be streaky if you don't do it correctly, and by that I mean work fast and small areas in small circles. You can tell that my water is a wee bit streaky. That's just how it happened. They do seem to have a good bit of ink though. As you can tell, I used a lot of ink in that blue area and it didn't even seem close to be running out, which is a good thing. So as far as a rating is concerned, I'll probably go ahead and give this a 5 out of 10. It's definitely not the best marker. I would recommend you, if you're going to pay the price for these, because these are not cheap, I would just go ahead and invest in a better set of markers. That could be Copic, that could be something cheaper like a Spectrum Noir. It could be anything, but I don't know. I don't think I would recommend these if you are trying to get into the brush marker scene. Maybe if you just want to get them to play around with, yeah, but not necessarily for any other reason. Alright, now let's talk about the picture a little bit. So I decided to do a landscape. As you all know, I'm not very good at landscapes, so I am trying to get better. But I was kind of looking at the selection I had, and I wanted to draw a girl, which is what I normally draw, you know. But I don't know, I just didn't have anything good for a skin tone, and yeah, I could have used something, you know, unique for a skin tone, but I just wasn't feeling it, and so I decided I really wanted to do like a flower of some kind, and I stumbled across a picture that inspired this, but it didn't look anything like this, so I kind of used reference, but I took it my own direction. So the picture was of a lotus flower, and I kind of added on it, just, you know, added the crane in the background and the grass and the other lily pads and stuff, and I thought it was a really pretty idea, and I really love this. This is one of my favorites that I've done recently, so I really like it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to join our cute little squid pod if you haven't already, to keep updated on new videos. And until next time, guys, toodaloo! It actually looks pretty good. You know, this picture doesn't look that bad. One thing I really like is the shading I got with the brown and the yellow.